Welcome to my channel. Today we're looking at people applying Reddit's advice, and I cannot wait to get started. First up, am I wrong for calling off my wedding after my fiancé bought a house with his mum? I'm a 28-year-old woman engaged to my fiancé, Tom, 30, for 2 years after dating for 3. We spent countless evenings planning our future. 2 children, a cozy home with a backyard, perhaps a dog. The wedding was scheduled for this fall, and we were saving for a house together, combining our funds for a place we'd both cherish. I'm a graphic designer, Tom's an accountant, so we weren't wealthy, but we had a clear plan. Or so I thought. 6 months ago, Tom began acting secretive, late nights at work, evasive answers about his savings. I attributed it to stress, but then he revealed a shocking truth. Over dinner, he casually mentioned he'd bought a house, not with me, but with his mum. My fork froze mid-air. "What?" I said, thinking I'd misheard. He explained Linda found a perfect 3-bedroom house, Linda being his mum. And didn't T want to rent anymore, so they split the mortgage. She'll live there full-time and he'd move in after the wedding. "You can move in too," he said as if it were a generous offer. I was speechless. Live in a house his mum chose, owns half of, and occupies constantly. No thanks. I pressed him. Why didn't he tell me? He admitted he thought I was saving too slowly, and Linda offered a faster way to own property. I felt betrayed. This wasn't just about a house. It was about trust, partnership, our future. I left abruptly, needing space. Over the next week, I replayed every conversation about our dream home. How could he make such a significant decision without me? I called him and said I couldn't marry someone who thinks this is acceptable. I cancelled the wedding, returned the ring, and moved in with a friend. His family flooded my phone with messages calling me dramatic. "It's just a house." My parents said cancelling was extreme, suggesting we could still live together. But I can't shake the feeling that Tom prioritized his mom over me. What if every major decision involves Linda? Am I wrong for walking away, or is this a red flag? OP, Tom concealed a major financial move and expects you to live with his mum indefinitely. That's not love. It's a plan to make you Linda's caregiver. No fault for you, 3 for Tom. OP, Tom expected you to move in with him and his mum and basically become her live-in caretaker. This is absolutely a red flag. I can promise you that every major decision will involve his mum because he doesn't make them without her. He also admitted he thought you were saving too slowly, which means he probably thinks you're too stupid to handle money. He made this whole move without you because he doesn't respect you enough to include you in the process. And finally, he's trying to gaslight you into thinking you're overreacting and that it's just a house. Clearly, he's the one who's being dramatic. I'm sorry to say, but you dodged a bullet here. Next up, am I wrong for not telling my mother I married into money? I'm 34, and my childhood was a nightmare due to my mom, Karen. She had me at 17, struggling with drug and alcohol addiction, leaving me with random neighbors or her unreliable boyfriends for days. I learned to cook simple meals at 8, avoid strangers at 10, and manage alone by 12. At 16, I left, staying with friends until I got a job at a diner and a small apartment at 25. That is when I met David, my husband, a kind, unassuming tech worker. We married 3 years later, and I discovered his family was wealthy. Private jets, vacation homes, trust funds. His parents, whom I call Mom and Dad, welcomed me warmly, a feeling I'd never experienced. I didn't care about the money. I loved David for his kindness. Last year, Karen contacted me after a decade of silence, wanting to reconnect and introduce my 2-year-old sister, Lily. I was shocked. I didn't know she'd been pregnant. Cautiously, I met her, hoping she'd changed. For 6 months, she appeared sober, doting on Lily during our coffee shop visits. But then she broke down, crying she couldn't cope as a single mom, and begged us to take Lily. David and I, facing infertility challenges, saw it as a chance to grow our family. We consulted his family's lawyer, ensuring a legal adoption. My in-laws adore Lily, establishing a trust fund for her future. We allowed Karen one supervised visit a month, but tensions arose. She noticed Lily's designer clothes and toys, then shouted, accusing us of hiding wealth. "If you'd given me money, I could have kept her," she yelled. I told her the money is mostly my in-laws, not ours, and I wouldn't trust her with it given her past. She hurled an insult, saying I never cared about her struggles. I feel a pang of guilt. Perhaps I could have helped her rebuild. But David says giving her money would enable her old habits. Am I wrong for keeping her in the dark? OP, Karen abandoned you. She doesn't deserve your resources. No fault for you, for her. And what a crazy coincidence that Karen just happens to have a baby right when you find out your mum is unable to have kids. Of course, you feel a pang of guilt. You're a good person, and you see your mom struggling, and you wish you could help. But Karen isn't worthy of anything. She left you to fend for yourself as a child. Do you really think she would have suddenly turned things around if you hadn't found success? Karen only wants Lily because she needs a trophy to compensate for her miserable life. She isn't interested in actually being a mother. If she were, she wouldn't have abandoned you in the first place. And honestly, it sounds like she's still a mess. So I agree with David. Giving her money would just enable her destructive habits. She can apply for child support, but I don't think she's entitled to any special treatment just because she's your biological mother. And next up, am I wrong for embarrassing my stepmom at dinner after she tried to erase my real mom? I'm 18, living with my dad and stepmom Susan, 43. My mom died of cancer when I was 10, leaving a lasting void. Her silver necklace, engraved with her initials, is my daily reminder of her